Welcome to The Thought Card, a podcast about travel and money, where planning, saving, and creativity leads to affording travel, building wealth, and paying off debt. We are the Financially Savvy Travelers. Hey, Financially Savvy Travelers, and welcome back to another episode of the Thought Card podcast. I am really excited about this topic because I think as a more seasoned traveler, which I think I am at this point, I kind of take for granted some of the tools and processes that I've been using for years. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this episode and other similar types of episodes like this, where I share more of how I actually plan my different trips and different experiences. So in this episode today, I really want to just focus in on how to find and research hotels using specifically Tripadvisor. So how did this idea for the episode came about? So I'm going to tell you, I was researching hotels in Scottsdale, Arizona for an upcoming family vacation. In fact, our first one with baby K. I'm so excited. And, it dawned on me. How do you find and research hotels? I really want to know. No, seriously, after this episode, please head over to the show notes and reply to the tweets that you'll find there where I ask what tools you use to research hotels these days. Or you can also tweet me at the Thought Card and let's chat about it. Do you get your recommendations from TikTok or Instagram? Do you simply just start off with a Google search, or maybe you use a hotel online travel agency, an OTA, that's AKA an OTA, or aggregators and meta search engines? I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about finding and researching hotels. Well, Financially Savvy Travelers, today I wanted to share my process for finding and researching hotels using Tripadvisor. I've been using Tripadvisor for years, perhaps since the very beginning of my travels, as a research tool to find my next hotel stay and even things to do on a trip, including activities, attractions, and tours. So maybe that'll be another episode that we talk about. But this one, specifically, we're going to talk about hotels. And if you're wondering, no, this episode is not sponsored by Tripadvisor. But, how cool would that be, though? If you are listening, Tripadvisor team, please hit me up. I am an affiliate for Tripadvisor, though, so I may receive a small commission if you ever click on any of the links on my platform that lead to their site. This episode is actually sponsored by She Podcasts. So podcasting is one of the most popular ways to consume content these days, and it will only continue to grow. So I would love for you to join me at She Podcast Live if you want to get in on the action. This is a 4-day event that will teach you everything you need to know about podcasting, from refining your skills to growing your audience. You'll learn from some of the top female podcasters in the world, and you'll walk away with all the tools you need to take your podcasting hobby or career to the next level. Did I mention that She Podcast Live is going to be in Washington, D.C., one of my favorite destinations? So excited about that. And also, I'll be speaking. I'll be sharing how to find and win grants as a creative and small business owner. So register now and join us in Washington, D.C. this October. I know you'll leave feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to take on anything. Listeners of this show can use the coupon code TTC to get $50 off their ticket, and you can purchase your ticket today at shepodcastlive.com. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump on in. So what is Tripadvisor? If this is your first time hearing about Tripadvisor, Tripadvisor is a meta search engine that helps travelers discover hotels, flights, rental cars, cruises, things to do, and more. As of 2021, the site featured 1 billion reviews and opinions on nearly 8 million hotels and rentals, restaurants, experiences, and more. Travelers can share their own personal experiences by writing honest reviews and uploading photos, which inform other travelers. So a question that you may have is, okay, great. So you could check out reviews that other travelers have posted, but are Tripadvisor reviews reliable? While, there are fake Tripadvisor reviews. But for the most part, I'd say Tripadvisor is reliable. In 2022, actually, they released a transparency report saying that they removed nearly 1 million fake reviews out of the 26 million submitted in 2020. All right. So, yes, there may be fake reviews out there, but for the most part, the majority of them are very reliable. So, here's why I use TripAdvisor to research hotels. I love that I can read reviews from real people, real travelers. And I also really appreciated the unedited photos from real travelers to see what the hotel really looks like outside of those glossy and sometimes inaccurate photos shared by the hotels. So, like I mentioned earlier, that I've been using TripAdvisor for years, many, many years at this point. So, I've put together a list of pro tips for using TripAdvisor. So, my first tip is to sort hotels by traveler rated. Traveler rated is the highest rated TripAdvisor hotels based on traveler reviews. So, my default view is typically best value, and I shift from best value to traveler rated so that I can prioritize knowing which hotels travelers love the best and recommend. I can always filter out price and other things later, but I really, really want to use TripAdvisor to find the hotels and accommodations that travelers primarily recommend. So I recommend pro tip number 1 is sorting hotels by traveler rated. Okay. Pro tip number 2 is leave your search wide initially to explore all of your options. I know it's tempting to go into TripAdvisor and start filtering things out and sorting by this and doing all these things, manipulating to find the kind of data that you're looking for. But I actually do not recommend narrowing down your preferences initially. Okay. So another thing I want to mention is also that a hotel may not have every amenity that you typically want or you're looking for. It may be the perfect stay for you if you're willing to have an open mind and to look at a holistic view of the hotel. So that is why I leave my search wide open initially to explore all of my options. For example, if I am so caught up in a hotel having a pool, I may miss out on an incredible hotel that's a great rate in a great location that offers free breakfast and excursions and activities and has partners. So I may miss out on a lot of things. So I prefer, again, to leave my search wide initially and explore all my options before narrowing down. Pro tip number 3 is to be on the lookout for quote unquote sponsored, which you can find right next to the name of the hotel in the grayed out box. So these are hotels that have purchased a sponsored spot so that you see them perhaps higher in the ranking than in chronological traveler ranked order. Pro tip number 4 is to always, always, always review your traveler photos. Some photos may be blurry, but it'll still give you a realistic view of what you can expect at the hotel or the resort. So do not book a hotel without looking at the traveler photos. Okay? You can thank me later. Next pro tip is to read the reviews, especially the bad ones, and see when the review was written. Was it written a few weeks ago or a few years ago? A review written a few years ago may not be as relevant as something that is reviewed maybe last week or last month or within the last year. So just keep an eye out on the time frame of the time when it was reviewed and, spend some time looking at the bad reviews too. The next pro tip I have is to also review the Q&A section for more insights. These are the questions asked by other travelers like me and you, and sometimes the property responds to these questions, but other times you'll just have other travelers chiming in, offering their insights from their stay. So if you have a question about the property, pop it in there, or if you visited a property and can share a response, do that. What I love about TripAdvisor is this feeling of a community who is looking out for each other and helping each other. So leaving reviews and answering questions in the Q&A section is going to help someone else as it would help you if you were reading for a hotel that you have never been to. Okay. So some of the questions while I was looking at my Scottsdale list of hotels that I saw that were, pretty interesting include like the best way to get there from the airport, how much is parking, are car rentals, companies nearby, is there a daily resort fee, are there good restaurants within walking distance? So these may be questions that you may not easily find on the hotel website, but because it's asked in this section and you have either the hotel chiming in or other travelers chiming in, you may be able to glean some more insights and see if this hotel or resort or whatever accommodation is a good fit for you. So, the next pro tip is to use the keyword search function, which allows you to see any reviews that mention a specific word, for example, front desk or lobby. So, if you have any words that you're curious about, then definitely consider using the keyword function to be able to drill down to more specific reviews. My next pro tip is to take a look at the hotel that you're looking at within Google Maps or any other navigation map app that you may use. So, particularly when you're doing that, you're looking for what's nearby and does it look safe, generally speaking. Okay. So, if you're wondering, hey, Danielle, this tip sounds familiar. Well, you have a good memory because I picked up this tip from Gemma Thompson in episode number 90, where Gemma shared how she planned her first solo backpacking trip. And she dropped this gem of using Google Maps to kind of check out the hotel ahead of time, which I love and now I've committed to memory. So check out episode number 90 for more tips like that. Pro tip number 9 is going to review the property amenities. So now that we've done quite a bit of research now, right? Definitely thinking about what do you absolutely need, right? So for me as a new mom, I absolutely need a fridge because I need to store the milk for the baby. So I am going to make sure I have a fridge. So that is very, very important to me. But what other amenities are important to you? Do you really value free parking? Do you really value housekeeping, free breakfast, free internet, pool, hot tub, gym? The list goes on and on. So this is a good time now that you've done quite a bit of research to see, okay, what amenities does this hotel have or resort have or another accommodation have? And am I willing to make some sacrifices? Because maybe I really, really want to stay at a resort that has a gym. But you know what? The free parking is going to be saving me tons of money. So I rather just stay here than find another hotel. So I have made a lot of decisions like that where it's like, okay, some hotels have everything I want. Some hotels don't have everything I want. But there are certain things that are like, this absolutely is a must. And some things are just kind of nice to have. So again, it's up to you, but definitely pro tip number 9 is to review your property amenities and think about what you absolutely need and things that you can live without for your vacation or your hotel stay. And the last pro tip that I have for you, y'all, is to visit the hotel website. I do this regularly just to check and double check and make sure, triple check to see if there are any exclusive discounts offered from the hotel website that's not offered in any of the aggregators or meta search engines or travel agencies, any of that. So quite often I am actually booking hotels right on the website because of this booking direct discount over third-party booking sites. So before you hit that book button, hop on the hotel website and see what the pricing looks like and if they offer any exclusive discounts for booking directly with them. Now, while I was putting this episode together, and also because it's been a while since I've traveled and haven't used Tripadvisor in a little while because of the pandemic, but I noticed at least some new to me Tripadvisor features that I really wanted to highlight and bring to your attention. So the first new to me, at least, Tripadvisor feature was that you can search by traveler type. So you could look at reviews written specifically by other travelers like you. Perhaps you can search by families or couples or solo or business or friends. So I really, really like that because as a new family now, I am really looking at, hey, is this property family friendly? Is it going to be quiet so my newborn and my baby can sleep? So these are very important things to me. And by searching by traveler type, I can now look at reviews from people just like me or very, very similar to me in my circumstance. Another new to me feature that I really liked to see was that there is a room tips feature. So with the room tips, other travelers can tell you, hey, the fifth floor rear rooms are very quiet, or stay away from the rooms facing the road unless you have good earplugs. So these are just like cool little tips that can really make a difference in your hotel stay, in your stay. And I love, love, love this feature. And it's definitely something I'm more cognizant now because I am traveling with a small child, and things like a noisy environment are just not going to be the best for him. Okay. The other new to me feature that I thought, well, a couple, there's two more that are very similar, but one of them was the restaurants within a mile. You can check out the reviews of these restaurants that are within a mile, and you can also see these restaurants on the map as it relates to your accommodation. Similarly, they also have attractions within a mile. You can check out the map and also check out the different reviews for these attractions as well. And now you're like starting to piece more than just your hotel stay. You're like, okay, you're ready to check out the restaurants nearby. You're ready to go through the attractions and you're ready to build out your itinerary. I'm getting excited. This is very exciting, but you're getting ready to build out your itinerary. And you can do that all within that page of the accommodation that you're looking at. Very, very cool. And then the last new to me feature that I was really impressed by is the Walkable Score. They rank this accommodation of how walkable is this. Is it like 50%, meaning, okay, some people can walk, maybe having a car will be better. Is it like 100% walkable where you're in the middle of downtown and you're in the middle of all the action and you can get anywhere and everywhere just by walking? These are things I think that can really make a property stand out and can really help you to find, of course, but also find the right hotels. Not only about like finding hotels, it's about finding the right hotel for your stay. Because definitely where you stay has a very big impact on your overall travel experience. So overall, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hoped maybe you picked up some new tips and ideas for how to find and research hotels using Tripadvisor specifically. And yeah, dig in. And if there are any other features that you really, really like that you're like, Danielle, you didn't mention that in the episode, please reach out to me. You know, my Instagram is at the Danielle Desir, or my Twitter is the Thought Card. And yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'd love to find new ways to improve my searches for different types of stays that I have in the future. Now, before we wrap up this episode, I did want to share with you a company offering free mini 30-minute photo shoots with professional photographers. They are called Shoot, and you only pay for the photos you love. I've actually used Shoot on a number of occasions, including gifting my mother-in-law with a set of prepaid photos for her birthday. Since Shoot offers sessions in many cities across the country, we're based in the US, I recommend booking a mini photo shoot actually on your next vacation. This is exactly what the hubby and I, Kyle and I did. And you can take a look at the photos and the behind the scenes look at our Orlando session by heading to my Instagram at the Thought Card. In the show notes, I'll actually link to the photos that I took with photo shoot and also the behind the scenes. So all you have to do is head to the show notes for the link and you can kind of check out what the photos look like. But I think this is really, really cool. Like I actually have quite a few trips coming up and I am looking on the Shoot website right now to see if they offer photo shoots in those locations. And I just love being able to take professional photos in a new setting, getting dressed up and having these beautiful photos in a new setting. And it's part of our travel experiences now. So whenever Kyle and I travel, we look to see if there's a shoot location in that city. And we are excited. We book and put that as part of our itinerary. So definitely recommend them. And again, you could book your free photo shoots and pay only for the photos that you love. And the link will be in the show notes. All right, y'all, that is all that I have for you today. I'm going to go back and do a little bit more research to find the perfect hotel stay for Scottsdale. And I'll talk to you all in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this episode, but don't forget there's way more where that came from. When you become a supporter of the show, you'll get bonus episodes, additional tips on affording travel, real-time updates, as well as strategies for building wealth and creating multiple income streams. Head over to thoughtcard.com/join to support. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm at the Danielle Desir. Slide in my DMs and share with me your thoughts about this episode. What did you enjoy? What stood out to you? Let me know. I'd absolutely love to connect with you outside of the podcast. See you in the next one.